Hello, welcome back to BSLIVE. Today I will be showing you how I created this kind of monster. It's not a modeling tutorial, but I will be showing you maybe a couple of things that could be useful if you want to do like some kind of character design, or simply just like like doing the sculpting or something that's kind of meditational. So yeah, I started by doodling using grease pencil. So this is how it looks before I do anything else. So I'm simply just doodling a character with a mirror modifier, and I also draw it from the side view, and using that as a reference or template, I started to do this kind of doodling before I do remesh and mirror. I'm doodling using this kind of shapes, and these shapes was created in the sculpt mode. So under sculpt mode, you can see that each of the 3D shapes is in different color because they have special face sets. And the way I work to make this is actually simply by using this lasso trim, or there's also box trim. Those tools are really useful, and I just found out about it by watching another video tutorial that's more like a full-on sculpting tutorial. Maybe I will give you the link later. So the idea basically is, if you have like a cube like this, if you go to sculpt mode and using that cool tool, lasso trim or box trim, you can do a couple of neat things. For example, by default, if you use box trim and difference, it's just gonna make a cut, kind of like a trimming on whatever object you have here. If you have it as union, it's gonna perform Boolean union. It's joining the objects. But if you use it as join, this will create box, but it's not joining the box. This makes sense. If we smooth it, this object is actually separate, and you can, some of the box are separate if you use the join mode. So you can F3 and separate by loose part. You have this separate parts. So it's actually really cool things of sculpt modes, really cool feature of sculpt modes. It's almost like hidden. So instead of using box trim, we also have lasso trim. So with lasso trim, if we set it as difference, it's gonna make a cut like that, right? As we already know it. If we go to the side view, however, if we work in join mode, we can start to play around with this. Let's say you're drawing some kind of dinosaurs, and this is from the side view, remember? And I'm gonna draw the leg, just make it simple for now. Oh well, just can make this kind of dinosaurs, eyes, eyebrow. Alright, you go to the front view, you can see we only have one leg for each. However, if you go to edit mode, you can always select this scale in X. You can do this sort of thing, and you can do mirroring, bisect on, you can do remesh, and you have this kind of character ready for you to sculpt, to do the actual sculpting, if you want to do this kind of sculpting method. So this actually will work. You can go to proper sculpt mode and then start drawing and turn on symmetry and do a proper sculpting, maybe with the dynamic on if you actually want to do that. But like I said, this is not a 3D modeling tutorial. If you simply just want to do like something meditative, something that's not stressful, you can start by, so I have nothing in the 3D scene, right? I have nothing. I can Shift A and add a grease pencil, blank. Okay, we have blank grease pencil, and we go to draw mode. If you want to start drawing with grease pencil, it's gonna complain because this is the latest 2.93. In order to draw, we need to have frame. Anyway, we need to turn on auto keying, so we can start doodling. Like a random doodling. This is not a character design. However, you can think of some kind of character and you're doing some kind of doodle, and think of it like a symmetry. Usually if you just draw it like this, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make much sense. However, if you turn on mirroring in the X mode, it feels more like a character, right? And I should make the character super simple, but like I said, it's not 3D modeling tutorial. It's just some kind of method, some kind of meditative method. Okay, we have something like this. Right. Now if we go to the side view, we don't see anything. It seems simply like a flat. However, we have 3D cursor. This thing is actually super useful. If you want to actually turn this into something that's more like 3D, I learned from an app called Graffiti Sketch on the iPad. This kind of method might be useful if you want to do like a proper character. You see this character, let's say I want to make some kind of solid for the head. What I'll do, using the reference of this 3D cursor, we just place the 3D cursor near the head or something. So maybe this is the top of the head. I can simply start doodling something that's represent the character's head. Maybe this is like some kind of ox, some kind of monster with a that looks like an ox. So this is like around the body area. So we can kind of actually align this like that. And okay, so this is the body. This character's maybe a little bit chubby, fat, and put a 3D cursor there. This is the bottom part. This is only for reference, because later on we also want to draw it using Lasso Tool in Sculpt mode. Maybe this is the leg part. Something like that. If you want to do further, like with the arm, it's a good idea to draw the arm from above, actually. So if you want to draw the arm from here, however, I'm okay with this. This is like our doodle so far. Doesn't make sense. However, if we go back to object mode, I'm just gonna add a cube. We need to have something to start with, just as a reference. We're gonna delete this later. So we go to Sculpt mode, we go to the front view. I'm gonna hit tab T, go to lasso trim, and here we're gonna switch to join. Already switch to join. I will also turn on use 3D cursor for depth. Shape orientations, you can change it to surface. For now, just flat on the view. I think this is good to go. We can save this as random doodle So we start with, like grease pencil, but now we are inside the sculpt mode. Again, like I said, this is not a 3D modeling tutorial, so don't worry too much about what you're doing. I found this to be quite meditative. It's, you don't have any kind of expectation. However, you never know. Sometimes you're doing random doodles, and you think, okay, this is actually worth something. So we have this character. It's made up of this doodle. Yeah, this, the leg, we don't know, it's facing forward. I think it's better to draw it facing forward. Yeah, so we get this, which is kind of funny. It's not, but we can continue on anyway. Just draw the shapes like this. In reality, you want to start to move things around. Just align it to your character that you are creating. I'm not sure in the sculpt mode there might be a way to simply align all of this. Maybe it's a good idea to draw from the inside. Yeah, you see it's not aligned. That's unfortunately what it is, but for now I will edit face set and then set this to delete geometry, so I can just delete this. We can just click and delete. At this point I want to just go back to edit mode. There must be a way to select this by selecting an object and then just move it. There must be a way to do that, but for now I'll just select a single point and then Command L and drag this thing. This is okay. This is the bum area. Just Command L, drag this. So we are simply drawing it from the front and the side view, right? So we are hoping to get some kind of shapes that we can use to do sculpting. That's basically what it is. See this legs part from the front view, it's not really needed. We can just delete them. This is what I mean when you want to draw the arms also. You can draw it from the top view, which makes more sense than the front view. In fact, for most character, I think drawing it from the side view is enough. Although you don't have, you probably will not have much details, but again, it's not modeling tutorial. It's just some kind of method. It's a tool. Someone, an animator once told me, there is no wrong thing. It's just a tool, some kind of method. There's a better way to do things, of course, obviously. After you do this many times, you might find a way to make this process better and works for you. So we have drawn this random doodle. This leg part, I think better off on the side. So I'm clicking and then tap L for select the link area. You can start rotating. At this point it seems like kind of like a big task, like big 3D modeling task, but it shouldn't be. It should be more relaxing. So we can mirror this guy. turn on bisect. It's gonna merge the center. You can see the face here. We might just need to scale it in X. Let's combine it. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this, even though this part is a bit funny. There should be a way to select this flattened area. For now, just select this as X, scale in X. Just do it this way. Okay, you know, pretty okay with this. Just do a remesh. Don't go too much detail. Just something that looks kind of enough. Zero point 0.1 usually is kind of okay, and then just apply all. Now we have this, and we can start doing sculpting, move things around. I think grab is a good start. Just use big radius, and you start to reshape this character from the front view. But you know, it's not a 3D modeling tutorial. You're just trying to doodle using 3D. Go to side view. We know that it's kind of correct from the front and side view. So currently it's kind of like a blocking, really. You can start smoothing, you know, like holding shift and smooth some area. Smooth this. So I'm starting to get the shape of the ox. This part's a bit strange, but just a creative doodling. With something like this, you can actually start doing like a 3D texturing, and once you do the 3D texturing, you can send it to Mixamo, have this character animating. It's not, you don't need to make this perfect, because like I said, this is not a 3D modeling tutorial, you know. Oh, I forgot to do something. So I've been doing sculpting doodling for so far. Let me save this very quickly. Save again. I don't want to go too far with the doodling. However, I want to show you. This is object mode, right? Let's go back to sculpt mode. We have this cloth filter. Cloth filter is really cool. It's really cool way you can, by default, it's set to gravity. It should be set to inflate, I think, because with inflate, it's gonna work on the whole mesh, and then if you click and drag, you kind of inflate it like a balloon. So this is, I showed this method before. I call it like Ballooney, to make like a Ballooney character. This is actually a very interesting method. We can use face sets, but we don't have face sets anymore at the moment. So we can just inflate it or scale, expand. Scale is actually interesting. This is me using the scale. Scale is more like a scaling. However, it's like kind of inflating as well. But don't use scale too much, or don't use inflate too much, because it's gonna change the character. It's gonna look totally different from the original. I wish there's a way to kind of keep it the same shapes, but it's not too bad. You know, it's a fun thing to do. This is me like scaling the character too much, and then go to different directions, try to make it go back to the original shape. inflate a little bit, still looking like an ox, like a monster ox. Okay, once you've done that, enough playing, but we can use something like pose. We can use pose, and even have we have even like this pose IK with multiple segment. With a pose, of course, you might already know you can use different brush size and start posing your character. Basically, yeah, just keep it simple, you know, for now. You can have multiple IK if you want to. Yeah, maybe not too crazy for now. So you have this character, and really at this point you really can continue sculpting, adding details. That's will take hours to do. So, but the next fun thing after this, of course, is to do the painting. So just now I added a material. I call this ox material, and then you can go to texture paint, start doing painting. It's gonna complain. It says missing UV, of course. It's missing UV, so select the character objects, tap edit, select all, tap F3, smart UV project, done, save, go back to texture paint. Now it's pink color because it doesn't have any texture to paint on. We need to add a base color at least and start painting. You know, so by default symmetry is already on, so that's nice. When doing the painting for character, when doing the base, you can start to think about, you know, an area that should be a bit darker, but here I'm just doodling, doesn't matter. Or maybe the belly needs to be lighter, or maybe the bottom parts need to be lighter, those sort of thing. But you know, it's again, it's not a modeling tutorial. You're free to do anything. Unless when you're working professionally, you start to think. So this is like an ox. We can turn off symmetry, you know, making the ox give some dots. You know, I feel like doing so. And the horn, make it a bit more colorful, you know. Why not? It's not a modeling tutorial, it's just for fun. Right, so from the whole thing, okay, now let's go back to this mode. We need to turn on the texture to see the texture, or we go to other different rendering mode, final render with the live. Normally at this point I just send it to Mixamo, give it some motion capture animation data, so I'm pretty happy with that, you know. So yes, starting from just doodle with Grease Pencil, now the character has evolved into like a real character. It's not 100%, but still it's fun. The method that I want to show you is the Lasso Tools method that was also shown in another video tutorial. Maybe I should give you the link. So that's more like a proper 3D modeling tutorial. This one is more like a for your own thing. Random doodle from the front view. And this guy, of course, still have the mirror. mirror modifier for the grease pencil from the front view, from the side view, and you start doodling. Remember, you start doodling with the lasso thing, and then turning it into 3D shapes that you can sculpt, and then you can paint on. I think those things supposed to be kind of meditational. It's useful. It makes you relax, and you are making something that you can print. You can export it as 3D or export it as AR. You can even animate it if you want to do like proper rigging. You can start to add your own armature. But that's another video tutorial. Rigging is slightly more tricky. However, you can always upload it into Adobe Mixamo. They can do like a quick bone rigging for you. It doesn't have control. However, you still have the bones, and you can animate it, or simply just use like a motion capture data. All right. So thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.